Welcome, you like I did that. Welcome to part two to my spiritual warfare update, but this is the exclusive Patreon version. We just discussed the overtones to this, along with a couple quick fixes. If you have not already watched my daily spiritual protection video, this would be the time. It is actually in the backlog of videos in this Patreon for you to check out. We need to talk about ascension sickness. This is important because ascension sickness may seem like spiritual attack, but it is actually the opposite. It is you being activated into your gifts. Chances are, if you are here, you understand what I mean. You are being called to do something. It is your time. Some people are subject to the mundane, so to speak. They are not meant to learn about any of the levels. There are. Some people, some souls come here strictly to experience this, to grow, but they want to remain with tunnel vision. For instance, it's like going to a movie. These people don't want to watch the trailer. They don't want to know what's coming up. They just want to dive headfirst, which is a wonderful approach. But since we are going through something known as the Great Awakening, anyone who said that they did not want to remain asleep during this process, anybody who came here with a mission to wake up others who have been sort of sedated, because maybe you need to know that the system is set up currently in a way that we come here over the bridge of forgetfulness, also seen represented as a stairway, like a stairway to heaven. We come here and we get stuck in karmic loops. When you come here, you forget your original mission and you get stuck in every interaction you have with somebody. Karma is created when you have a problem with somebody, or somebody has a problem with you. And you literally have to go through your rest of your life weeding that energy out through other people, or even specifically that person. But if by the end of your life you don't learn the lesson, when you leave this body, you end up making another contract to solve that problem when you come here. uh, Forgetting your contract, which is the issue, sort of makes it hard. But if you wanted the mundane, as I call it, the worldly experience, it would be good for you. You'd go through a lot and you'd learn the lesson either way. We, the people who are being awakened, have been given the cheat codes in order to bring back light. The darkness is becoming all consuming. It is winning. There is supposed to be a balance. Duality is necessary here, light and dark. It is the only way that our souls evolve. As beings of light, naturally, we all started up in one of the seven heavens, and things were great until we decided, some of us, that we could possibly exist without the universal energy. When this happens, a lot of us got knocked down to this field. Um, some of us decided to join at other times to help our brethren, because once you get down here, you forget and you don't know how to connect back sometimes. This is where light workers come in. You are meant, now that you have been activated, which means that you are now aware that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, you are supposed to, I feel like, keep that info to yourself, because when you tell people, they think you're crazy. Although I don't so much mind that, it makes them block it. They can't take any information. So I feel like it's important to use discernment in how you deliver your message, because you can still say it in regular people terms without saying, hey, the world has been hijacked by an alien race and we're all sort of being enslaved right now. See, that probably just jarred you, right? That's going to have to be another video that we get into. But the main thing right now is, although we are under attack, some of us are being awakened to our gifts so that we can help the others who are not going to fare as well, because they did not decide to come here as light workers. They are trapped souls at this point. So, um, ascension sickness. This is headaches, dizziness, physically ill, feeling like everything is wrong. It's actually way more physical than I thought. Migraines. I went through a period where I thought I was freaking I'm dying. I went to the ER, like I got on an IV and everything, and they couldn't find absolutely anything wrong with me. So I started investigating things like Merkaba activation. That has to do with your light body. Your light body is the other part of you, your overlay. If you have been down here and in this karmic cycle for a long time, your light body might be deactivated, not enough light in it. Your light body is your energy source that you survive in this one with. When you're in the 4D, your light body is what bounces around. And when these energies need to feed off of you, they attack your light body because they don't have light bodies. You have to be God body. You have to be filled with Christ energy, which is the energy of love. They don't have a heart space. They don't have that in them. So therefore, no light body. That's how that works. With you now activated in the astral plane, they can see you in that way. They're like, hey, what is that? Because it's a dark space sometimes up there. Or either they want to pull you into that dark space in your light body, which is what happens when you're under spiritual attack. Unfortunately, they pull in your light and they're starting to suck off it like mosquitoes or something. Now that you've been activated, the migraines are actually an effect or a repercussion of your pineal gland starting to grow and develop and be useful again. This means that you'll have more vivid premonitions. You'll be able to channel more because your third eye being calcified, which is caused by the fluoride in your water, the fluoride in your food. I'm pretty sure there are other ways, but definitely I will actually do an in-depth video on the pineal gland and all that sort of stuff. But understand that there is a complete eye in here, and it's not even, it's right here, but it's in the middle of your head, and it faces up. Through that, universal energy is supposed to shoot down through you, through your chakras. When this is calcified, that means that it is like a bone over it. You're not able to receive source energy the same. And you'll only have access to the lower chakras, which keep you in your reptilian brain, which is your animus, which is your base needs, your survival needs, which means that you're willing to kill, cheat, lie, steal, whatever, survival. You're stuck in your gut. You're supposed to be working from your heart space. And then once your heart space is and all this stuff is fixed as a failsafe, then you'll have access to these ones. So if you're still dealing with heart trauma and stuff, you might find that you're not as connected to your gifts. But this activation that's happening here is going to start bringing up everything that needs to clear in order for you to raise your vibration to the 5D, and it's going to feel like hell. This is an ego death. This means the idea of who you were and everything that you had in your life as it being not real, pretty much, or as an illusion, as just part of one of the many lives you live, is quite jarring. You are being physically jarred. You are dealing with all the traumas from this life and all the feelings that you did not get to process. Say, for instance, you had a really bad breakup. And you did not have time to emotionally deal with that. You sort of tucked it away and kept moving. And then a year later, you're bawling because it had to come back out. Any emotion, even from childhood that did not get handled, has to come up. And that's why shadow work is so important, especially once you are activated, because these entities and these energies focus on your unhealed parts and how they can latch on those and make you have addictions and depression. And ultimately, they really want to keep you here. Their goal is to get you to take yourself out or for somebody else to take you out so they can keep you in these karmic cycles that continue to feed off of your energy. If you are being activated, it is important for you to meditate daily so that you can learn that sometimes your thoughts are not, not your own. When you sit in meditation, sometimes you notice that there's a whole other voice going and you're just listening like, sometimes that voice, if you have somebody, or if it says somebody, a lost soul or a demon or something, in your auric field that you've collected over time, being around negative people, things, or doing drugs or things like that, the holes that they sort of build themselves in, they can send messages that are not yours. They can see them overwhelming, like I was just saying about the schizophrenia. It's important for you to develop a spiritual practice that keeps you balanced, at bay, and still able to live this life along with the knowledge that you now have that there's a whole nother body of yourself that you have to keep intact and protected in order for your life to thrive here. You can do so much to improve your life. Like literally, I started this business not even as a business, just because I woke up. I woke up and I wanted to help. I'm like, people need to know about this. So I started this page after an ego death. That's why it's called Basic as Fuck. I just wanted to always remind myself and to remind people that you don't need any of this shit. All you need is yourself. Just be basic as fuck. You're essentially, you're stripped. I was stripped after my ego death. And I just wanted to always remind myself, not to get too invested in what this world tells you you have to be. Enjoy the experience, because the only thing you have when you leave here are your memories because you get them back when you're out of this body. The only thing you have is your experience. None of this material stuff, none of this money or any of that. So that is what the whole brand was for, and that's what I want to help you guys with. So I'm surprised to see that we're having to start with spiritual warfare, but not, because literally the first book I brought when I started waking up, I walked by on a shelf in Kroger, and it was called Spiritual Warfare. I was just like, what the hell is this about? So I learned a lot, and I look forward to teaching you guys. But also handy things you can use, like how to use your gifts and stuff. For those people who are intuitive Academia members, you get extra lessons and stuff. Everybody gets all this exclusive stuff, the energy. But the Intuitive Academy is for those who want to take it a step further and learn how to hone their craft, to help others, to start a business, whatever the case is. But that is sort of my little Professor X thing I want to do, because I feel like you have to learn how to use your gifts at this point for everything that we have coming up. And that's a whole different video. But I thank you all for joining me here and your support and your contributions. And let me know what you think down below. I look forward to commenting.